Good morning, my lovies. Spirit is matter. And that's just how it is. Matter is spirit. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get this music. Yeah. Way to go. Benefit. But anyway, so how is everybody? Are you guys a little more settled in than I am, obviously, this morning? Trying to wrestle it up. It's my birthday. I'm working on my birthday a little bit. Just you guys. How is everybody? Good morning, Mylene. Thank you so much. Sorry, Rebecca, I wasn't ready for you, and you are all ready for me, and I hopefully we can get tuned into each other one way or another at another time. So, matter is spirit, and spirit is matter. That means everything is energy. That's what we're really dealing with here in this world, no matter what. No matter what's going on, we're dealing with spirit and we're dealing with energy. And here we are in this wild period of life, just crazy things going on the edge of war. We're at war with other people. We're just generally at war. And with this administration, we're definitely at war. And the guides are saying, what others do does not have to dominate your life. Detach from the world of form, the material world. Embody your soul's light. Be the spirit, the knowledge, the consciousness, the energy of your soul by embodying the soul's light. Here you go. Well done. Oh my goodness. All of that energy coming in from the left side is the world of spirit coming in to move into your body. It feels somewhat weighty, and it feels as if there are a lot of molecules moving very, very fast. As you allow this energy from the left side to come in. And this is the message from the divine. She says, be not at war with yourself or with those around you. A conflict is only a message to go inside, process your feelings, perhaps even with this simple process, the of course process. Of course I feel conflict. Of course it makes me angry. Of course I feel I must shield myself. Of course I feel I must defend myself. Of course I feel vulnerable. Of course I feel unsafe. Of course I'm reaching out for security. Of course, it's upsetting. Of course, it grabs my thoughts. Also, bring this part of the Of Course treatment into your experience. Of course, I embody my soul's light whenever I feel scattered, upset, triggered, unsafe. Of course I embody my soul's light. Of course my soul is with me. Of course my soul will never reject me. Of course my soul is always here to protect me. Of course. Of course, these things are going on in the outside world. And of course, my soul understands that it is an illusion. And I have choice. Of course, I have choice. Of course. When I embody my soul's light, I have plenty of choices about what to think, how to be. Where life is going. What is important to me. Of course. Of course. My soul's light links me to the divine. And the eternal peace and love and presence of the steady, steady divine light is with me now. Of course, the divine cares for me. Of course, the divine loves me right now. Of course, there is craziness outside me, but the core of me is light, and it is steady, and it is peaceful. Of course, it is steady and peaceful. Of course, I feel connected to my spiritual heart because I have, of course, embodied my light, my soul's light. Of course, I bring myself to this party wholly and completely, including the brilliance of my soul's light. Of course, I know that I am part of the divine. I am one with the divine. I am in partnership with the divine and with my soul. Of course. Of course. Of course. Let that energy come in from the left side some more, especially down around the second chakra, between the hip bones, around the ovaries and the uterus, or just a few fingers below the belly button. There you go. Let that divine light feed your creative center. This is the antidote to displeasure, to criticism, to the constant thought processes of the divine, of the mind. We bring in the constant thought processes of the divine, which feel like love. bring with us as souls in bodies all the consciousness that the soul can touch and the immenseness of the soul's consciousness is with us. If only we attend to it. Turn and face our soul's light, our soul's consciousness. Dive in for a soul hug and merge with the soul's consciousness. This is no time to fool around. The life of the light, the life of the spirit, the life of the divine, your connection with the divine needs to be strong throughout this year. We are serious about this, and I think you can tell by our energy and our words. To ride the ride this year, we must merge with our soul's light. We must carry it through the expression of our spiritual heart. Good. It's lovely to see all of you do that. Jump into your spiritual heart. Look, it just comes right on, doesn't it? It's not complicated. It's not beyond your skill. Good morning, Pat Hansen. I woke up at 2:30 this morning, realized I hadn't done your one question, and I will be doing that right after this. I'm inspired, very inspired by it. As we be in the light of the light, around the light, as we allow the light to be generated and increased within us. Just let the divine make some adjustments. There you go. Yes. Around the back of the spine, behind the stomach. It's as if there's a knob that she is turning right there to open up the flow of energy through the spine. And this allows energy from Mother Earth to come moving up through the soles of your feet, up the legs, into the hip sockets, into the trunk of your body, into the tailbone, and all around your spine. You might feel it coming spiraling up your spine. There you go. And notice that it triggers the third eye to come alive, to come into focus, to be activated. And of course, as you are embodying your soul's light, your crown chakra is wide open. And that knob that is being adjusted is still being fiddled with, getting the alignments just right. Let your soul's light come down through the spine, into the mid-back, into that place where the adjustments are going on, and all the way down into your belly, your low belly. Let your soul's light come all the way down into your hip sockets, your thighs, your knees, your ankles, your feet, and out the bottoms of your feet, and it joins Mother Earth in her holy growth, her holy nutrients. notice that as you balance this spiritual light, the light of your soul, with the light of the divine, with the Mother Earth's nutrients and connection, there, balance and openness comes into the second chakra, just between the hip sockets, the hip bones. Opening up the second chakra, allowing that creative energy to be amplified. It's getting charged from below and from above. As above, so below. So below as above. There you go. Fear not. We are with you most distinctly and holding you close in our awareness, our energies. We are supporting you through all that you are experiencing. That you are hoping for, wishing for, praying for, wanting, all the things that you are creating, the energy is coming to you. Don't chase it. Draw it. By virtue of the divine light within, you are magnetic to everything you want, need, already have. In abundance. You're all doing so well. The energy is gorgeous. The way that you are doing it, following instructions, amplifying it, moving it around your body. It is so beautiful. Breathe it in. Give it all you've got with your breath. Open the breath. Deepen the breath. Beautiful place, all things are possible. For you are that wonderful triumvirate. Father, Mother, God. Your body, your soul, the divine. You are that triplicate of energy working together seamlessly. The energy knows what to do. The divine's in charge. The divine is showing her light and her love for you. Thank thank you for giving me so many happy birthdays. I'm really pleased to hear that. Thank you. Nice to meet you. Thank you for being here. Oh my gosh. So the guides have taken us through this process to remind us that we have choice about how we feel, how we direct our thoughts and our energies, what we do. We are not victims. We are choosers of our own reality. It has to be this way. We are made in the likeness and image of the divine. Our soul is created from a piece of her massive, endless, infinite light and intelligence. We are able to source ourselves in our soul and in the divine. We choose this energy. Spirit is matter. Matter is spirit. They are one and they're same. There is no difference. That you are, the divine is, and all that the divine is, you are. There is no difference. You expand to include the dramas and the chaos that are being projected at you from the outside world. Your saving grace is the divine light within you, the perfection of your ever-evolving soul, the light of your soul. You are that. Good morning, Lisa. Hugs. Usually I answer questions. It can be any kind of question. Does anybody have a question about their bodies? What's going on with their physical body? I would be glad to help with that. I have experienced a lot in my physical body, and it's as if my whole life has been about healing one thing or another. And I would like to share my abilities with you and my methods because they've worked on me. I've had to recover from 3 tubal pregnancies. I've had to emotionally recover from having to give back an adopted baby and an infant, a newborn that I was going to adopt, but the mother changed her mind, and legally I have to give the baby back. I have recovered from drug addiction and alcoholism. I have recovered from disabling multiple sclerosis, a nervous system disorder, and I don't have it anymore. All these things you can have and more. Pat, my right hip is protesting. Is this resistance or just a strain? Well, you've irritated it to the point of a strain. And I do see that one vertebrae in your low back is out, and that's directly, almost directly across from the hip. So that's either, it's probably L3, possibly L4. There are some really good low back stretches that you can do that will loosen up the energy in your hips and will help a lot. There are hip stretches for tight hips and low back all over YouTube. What was that? Oh, this a couple. Because I've strained that. I've wrecked my hips. I've fallen in weird ways and gotten all out of whack, and you've definitely been there. I also go for a little chiropractic adjustment. Very helpful. It may take more than one, because if your hips have been in this position, which I think they have been sort of moving that direction for a while now, it might take a little while to get your body out of the habit of that pattern of physicality. Oh, good. Great. Glad to hear you have a chiropractor appointment. And now, where you sit from now, Pat, especially you, send love to your hip and say, I hear you. I love you. I'm attending to you. I want to give you everything that you need. Now, there is some wear and tear over the years in that hip, and it feels like it's your right hip. So, the more you can keep it in alignment and stretched out, the longer you'll be able to go with that hip replacement. But at some point, you're probably going to have a hip replacement, unless they do all the fixes at CLM, one of the healing events or something like that. And your love is healing. Your love is healing. There you go. I want you to think of your love as going into your hip and cleaning up any granular matter that's gotten out of place and is also causing some impingement and pain, causing the pain. So imagine that your love is literally dissolving these little bits and dissolving all the old thoughts that go with these little bits. You stashed a lot of stuff in that hip, and that's why sometimes surgery is the most efficient thing to do, because if the stash gets too big, it's just as easy to get the surgery and get this over with. But I don't think you have to do it now, and that getting adjusted and doing some stretches would be really, really helpful. And really let go of the idea that you don't feel so hip. I mean, I'm 68 today. I can't believe I'm 68. But you know what? I'm 68 today, and it's a wonderful blessing. And you are the age that you are, and the wisdom that you've come by is one with hard internal work in the heart and in the body and in the substance that you are as a soul in a body. There you go. Oh, woo, boy, that was a good change. Wow, you just sent that stuff packing. My whole body feels like it got realigned. Open the top of the head, let that flow. Good. I can't tell if you adjusted me or the guides came through me and adjusted you, or it's mutual. I think we're coming out even here. Okay. Let me just look see if there's anything else I'm supposed to tell you. Pull from the left side. Pull from that emotional calm that you created more balance, like the canoes they have in Hawaii, the outrigger canoes. Like, there be a kind of balancing here between the right and the left, the masculine side, the feminine side, the doing side, the being side. Expand to include all of that. And this is kind of no wonder, Pat, you're stepping out into like a new piece of your life. You really are. What you are contemplating is really restructuring your life and rebuilding, quote unquote, wink wink, your life externally and internally, and realigning your life even more closely with the divine. You are even of more service to the divine. Now let that pinchy feeling in the upper back, sort of on the top end of your shoulder blades, let that go. Yeah. Whew, let your heart be as big as it needs to be. That's what's the pinchy feeling. Letting your heart be as big as it needs to be. Because you are expanding your horizons. You are restructuring your life. And so that hip is also about stepping forward, stepping into a new pace, a new project, rebuilding, resorting, rearranging a lot of things. And it's really beautiful. It's beautiful, Pat. You like that? Okay. So there's going to be more for you, Pat, but it'll be in your personal one question reading later this morning. Mylene, you're having coughing and wheezing for many years. You are kind of the embodiment of generational ancestral grieving. One of the reasons that you are as happy and pleasant and expansive and loving as you are is because you understand the options, which is carrying around a lot of grief. And you don't have to be the one who holds the grief for your family, for your ancestral line. This is coming mostly from your father's side. So it may be necessary for you to head to the Philippines for some spiritual surgery to clear this, to get rid of it, to like get the job done and be done with the task, and not have to be handicapped by this in the name of healing the lineage, healing the ancestors. It's like your body needs a little bit of that soil from the homeland. Sometimes travel gets it, so you might want to be traveling to those places, to the homeland, and get some of that soil. It just feels like red clay and rich and aromatic and filled with minerals. For a couple of weeks so that you can do that and energetically reclaim some things, and also energetically bring that land and your ancestors up to date. Come on, folks, stop taking me for a ride, not riding on my energy. You guys got to do your own work, right? Everybody gets to do their own work. It has to be an inside job. There's no other way to do it. And while you're at it, here in the present moment, before you can make that trip. Bring your beautiful spiritual heart to full vibrancy. Open it up. It's safe to love, even in this wacky, crazy, worrying, conflicted world. Your heart needs to be opened up and exercised. Because this is your essence. You are your heart, Mylene. You are so heartfelt. And you wouldn't be chosen by the ancestors to do the work that you do to help if it wasn't for your big heart. Yeah. There you go. Good. Good. That exhale felt like getting rid of the last 200 years of accumulation. Now re-embody your soul's light. There was so much happening in your third eye, like bing, and it's coming down into your body. My crown is really buzzing right now, coming out into your heart. It's coming down into the rest of your body. You also loosened up something in a hip there along the way, so this is good news. Pat, you got us started on getting more hip and getting hip with our own stuff and getting aligned with our own hips. Oh my gosh. So Mylene, see how that second embodying your soul's light brought you up today. The world has been a little scary and breathless. I found myself being very shallow breathing, a little on the fearful side, kind of like an overexcited child. Like not really taking a deep breath, not stopping to breathe, and so the congestion can build up, and just really focusing on deep inhalations and even more complete exhalations, and imagine exhaling brownish or grayish energy, energy that's used up. All right, you're doing good, everybody. I'm gonna refresh my page, see if I missed any questions. Does anybody else have a body issue that you want me to look at for you? Also, Mylene, when your grandmother died, you wanted to capture some of her spirit, like in your body, so there wouldn't be too much of a tearing away and too much loss. And as she was taking those ragged last breaths, you were trying to breathe for her, and you breathed in some of her spirit, but you also breathed in some of that buildup that was in her as she was dying, and so you need to let that go. And know that your spirit is so brilliant and so strong, you can bring all you need in from your soul's light. You have it at your fingertips, within your breath. You are able to be the light that you are independently now as an agent of the divine, fully aligned with your own soul. There you go. Yeah! Woo! The healing energies are going big time today. Wow. We're making things happen. Really. I feel I could be adopted or acquired. Oh, Marie Lane. This is Marie. I could be adopted and acquired, and it was a family arrangement. Is there any truth to this? It happened in a past life. It was in Poland. Oh, about 1780. And you were kind of part of acquiring a greater block of land for the people who are in charge of that part of the world. And hang on. The agreement was you as a girl child got raised in the castle and you were taught castle mannerisms, courtly behavior, courtly customs, political machinations. You were taught how to read, you were taught how to do math. You eventually became a jeweler's apprentice and became quite well known for your jewels and the jewelry that you made. And you were acquired in that exchange when you were about 7. So you had a pretty well developed relationship with your own family and your own family, extended family group, even though they were giving up a very important chunk of land. But you too were carrying a big piece of the ancestral energy, trying to balance it out and make things whole. And while this was a huge opportunity and it brought the whole family up into a different social status, which was an important piece of this exchange of land and a child and a trainee and some kind of a title. It also meant it was hard for you to adjust, and you missed your family very, very much. I mean, I think it was about 2 or 3 years of crying yourself to sleep at night. And this tenderness within you made you a favorite of the other ladies in waiting and the kitchen staff and, just pretty much everybody else in the castle. They got to know you, and it was as if you were adopted by this enormous group as well. So there were some benefits to it and some good things about it. But it was just a little harsh and tearing, and it made your heart cagey for the rest of your life. Literally, you put a cage around your heart. So you did marry, but it wasn't for love. It was another deal. It was another arrangement. And not much fun. And sometimes you feel the sadness of all that. I feel you crying now. The kind of loss that you've had, or the emptiness will well up in you from being taken from a lap of safety and steadiness in this exchange and a way of being chattel. Oh, and you were quite beautiful, which made you kind of, the object of some other people's envy. But that's what makes you feel so attached to the plot of land that you're on now at your house, and so like, don't take this from me kind of feeling. Don't make me have to leave here. Don't make me have to make a change. I'm not wanting to make a change, and that's understandable. That you feel that way because so much in your past life in this time was built on exchanges and somewhat the discounting of human needs in the process. So that's difficult. So you're right. You're absolutely right. You were adopted, or what was the other word that you were saying? Acquired. It's really a good word. You were acquired. You really were. So bless you for knowing this, and bless me for forgetting to turn my phone off. And while we're having this wonderful channeling, so it did work out well for the next couple of 100 years. And when things got kind of, when the borders of the Poland area were always in flux, every 50 years somebody else would tromp through there and claim it and whatever, and then you'd fight them off and whatever. It was a lot of that going on. There was relative stability and abundance for your family line after that. So understand that you did do the deed for the entire line of your family and the folks in that kingdom, that region. So it was a big service. Know that too. It's important that you know that the service did work out. Kind of interesting to find these things out, and this inkling that you have, and to know that all of you, that when you have these thoughts, my mind went to say, I'm just having a fantasy, I'm making this up, I have an overactive imagination, and this is like some kind of movie I saw, or I picked it up from somewhere. It's not me. It can be you. It really can. And probably is. So give yourself a little credit for having a little knowingness that these inclinations, these images, this sense of knowing, this is a thing that's going to expand in you all right now. And the more that you embody your soul's light and play with soul consciousness and expand your human consciousness, blend your human consciousness with your soul, you're going to find that this kind of knowingness is going to be happening more and more, and you can count on it. You can start to bring it in as a working part of your life and start to be able to channel your own self, and to know what you know, have what you have, honor your experience. And it's going on. You might as well honor your experience. And it might be something, if you have my book, Bringing Forth Soul Consciousness, then remind yourself how to open your Akashic Records. Use the prayer that's in that book. It's on almost every chapter, at the beginning of almost every chapter, after chapter 2. And, or remind yourself how to do it in chapter 2, and then open your records and ask your masters, teachers, and loved ones, or the Akashic beings of light, or the divine herself, whom we call the great creatress. Ask her how this was good for you, and how does it help your soul evolve and your human self to evolve. Those are good things to ask. Wow. Kind of interesting morning here. A lot of good energy, a lot of good healing energy. Your questions are really good. And I think these questions are also helpful because other people in the group who are watching or will be watching either on Facebook or on YouTube, these are the questions that they have. And so sometimes you're asking questions that are helpful for the group, not just yourself. And so that is being of service as well. Let's see. Oh, the sky is going blue. The sun is burning off the fog here in Forest Knolls. Little breezy. It's still early March. A little chilly, but like Darla. Hi, Aunt Darla, how the heck are you? We have got some serious green around here. I should send you some photos because it's beautiful. It's really quite beautiful. And if you ever make it out to California to see us, come see us. Let's see. What do we got here? And I think Marie, as a girl child, throughout history, especially ever since we started making men more important than women, women have been chattel or currency and bought other things that mostly enriched the other men in the family line. And so there's that common loss, that common anger, that common upset between women because we've all done it. And then if they didn't do it to us, we volunteered because we were taught that's what our role was. Wow. And so it's almost like as your cells are replaced in your body, that old community memory of femaleness and being a woman in this life comes up for healing for all of us women. That's why we need to reassert feminine wisdom, woman wisdom, divine feminine. We need to participate in that. And even if it's inside, deep inside us, it might not be the community's favorite way of doing things. Thinking of Darla in the Midwest, and even some other people here, who have different spirituality that has been mostly masculine oriented. But as we bring up the divine feminine, if we start embodying it, if we start acquiring that and shifting our consciousness towards that, we are empowered. We speak loudly. We create change in our own societies. And we're not restricted to voting or trying to hammer it out in a numb-headed Congress. We do it inside, and it is reflected outside, right? Good. You guys are great. All right. They're telling me to say a prayer. I'm going to get my prayer book. I'm going to do a couple of them for us today. Divine, beloved, Mother of mothers, Creator of creators, we offer ourselves to Thee to build with us and do with us as Thou wilt. Relieve us of the bondage of self, that we may better do Thy will. Take away our difficulties, that victory over them may bear witness to those I would help. We would help. Of Thy power, Thy love, Thy healing, Thy way of life. May we do Thy will always. Amen. Okay. This is the soul purpose prayer. My soul purposes go forth to bless, heal, inspire, elevate, and dignify the needs and hearts of all women and men. I am divinely compensated in wonderful ways. I know that matter and spirit are one. I look upon money as divine substance, for everything is made of the one spirit. Money, the one spirit energy, is constantly circulating in my life. Money, the one spirit as matter, flows to me freely, joyously, and endlessly. I use money wisely and constructively. Money, made of the one spirit and all matter, is an idea in the mind of the divine. It is good and very good. And so it is. And so we thank you. I thank you for being here. Please buy my book, Bringing Forth Soul Consciousness. It's on audio. It's on Audible, as well as another audiobook platforms. But I think the one on Audible is the best sound, and would be probably the most satisfying for you to purchase. If you want a signed copy, please private message me and with your name, address, and phone number, and I'll make sure you get a signed copy. And have a reading. Be empowered. Utilize me. I am here to make a difference in your life. This is what I do. And I want to help, and I can help. And you can schedule a reading on my website, which is just gorgeous. My beautiful daughter, Lisa Davis, did this website, and it's scorchingly beautiful and compelling. And I'll put up some tipping links if you want to do it, or tip me through Venmo. Annie-Bachelder is my handle. Annie Annie-Bachelder, all capitals, on Venmo. It's a good way to tip me. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a great day. Thank you for subscribing. It's my pleasure to be with you. Have a marvelous day.